Hey guys, it's Cass. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Franklin-Christoph Fabric Penvelope 6. So this is a pen case that they sell that will hold 6 pens, as the name would suggest. It comes in a variety of colors and different sizes. This is the 6 slot in the fabric material. It does come in leather and canvas as well. In the 6 slot range where it holds 6 pens, you can also get it in like a brown canvas and a gray canvas, and then you can get a leather version in black or brown. So this version is $58. The leather version is $65, and it's the same size and everything as this, just in a leather material. And then if you want more pens, you can get a 13 slot Penvelope in the canvas, the brown or the gray canvas, and that one's $85. And then the leather version, which you can get in black or brown, and then you can also get like a crocodile embossed skin looking one. Those are $95 for the 13 slot. So they have different sizes, different prices depending on what material you want. I decided to go with the fabric. I really like fabric material, and especially gray. I thought the leather might be easy to dent, and it just wouldn't. I don't know, I don't like dented leather, so I just went with the fabric. And I figured it would be lighter too. This is a very lightweight pen case. And I will do some comparison shots so you can see how big it is compared to other types of pen cases before I get into everything. So compared to a Knox Sinclair, this pen case is meant to hold 3 pens in like a field size or field note size, like a pocket size notebook, and then some other things in the middle. So Knox Sinclair is the same height pretty much, but not the same width. So the Knox Sinclair is a little thinner than the Penvelope. And this pen case can actually hold quite a bit more than 6 pens. I would keep 8 to 10 pens in it at a time when I was using it. So this one's a little more compact, but if you're not worried about that, then the Penvelope's a good option. It looks really good too. And then we have the Galen Leather 3 slot zipper pen case, and this is in the Crazy Horse navy blue. So again, this is about the same height as the Penvelope, maybe a little shorter, and it's about half the size of the Penvelope. So this one is quite a bit smaller, way more compact if you're looking for just something to throw in your bag. This is very small and compact. This is like obviously a little bit bigger, so you can still carry this around with you. It's going to be a little more chunky. So size-wise, the Penvelope is about close to 6 1/4 across, and then height-wise about 6 3/4, and then depth is close to 1.5 inches. Now this Penvelope, and I'll get into this in just a second, or rather we can go into it now. It does open up, so it's gusseted here on the sides, and it does open up some. You can put pins in the front here. If you look up some reviews online, you will see people have put pins in the front, and they'll just slide in here in these little areas here. So you can put more than 6 in here. It's just a pretty tight fit. I've tried it. You can put pins on the side here as well. Again, it's a pretty tight fit, but you can do it if you really want to carry around, 10 or 11 pins in this. It doesn't close as well if you do that. This is a magnetic closure, and it's not weak by any means, but if you stuff this thing full of pins in the front here, it's probably going to pop open. So it is meant to just hold 6 pens. And you can also, definitely put papers or flat ephemera up here and have no problem closing it. So on the inside, we have this really stiff black fabric material with contrast stitching. The stitching on the fabric on the outside itself is a gray stitching, which looks really good. It's not contrast really. It really complements the gray. I'm not a fan of contrast stitching generally, so I do like how this looks. So again, on the inside, stiff black fabric, contrast stitching. The flap does completely close, or fold behind it rather. So you can lay it on the desk like this, and it is at an incline. So the pins kind of sit up a little bit if you just want to grab one. as you're writing or something, it does do that. And it doesn't really crease. I don't know, I mean, it does a little bit, but you can't tell it when you put it back to normal. There's no permanent creases as far as that I've experienced. I would imagine the leather versions might crease, but I don't have one, so I can't speak to that. So you can fold it back all the way and just set it on the desk like that. So the actual pen slots here, they extend down about right here in the pen case. They do not reach all the way to the bottom, so the bottom of the pen is exposed. It does have a hole down here, so you would be able to see the bottom of your pens, which I'll show you in just a second. I'm going to put some pens in here. I wouldn't really say there's a lot of chance of them getting scratched down here unless you had you threw this in a bag and the bag had like a pen or a pencil in the bottom that somehow slipped in there. So they're probably good down here. That being said, when you close it, it is open at the top here. So the pen on the edge, the two pens that are going to be on the edges here, the caps are going to be exposed. If you throw this in a bag or something, whatever's rattling around in there, it might poke in here and hit the cap. So that is one thing to think about. If you're very protective of your pens as I am, that's one of the reasons I'm not really using this anymore. I did use it for a little bit when I got it, but I really haven't used it because of that. As I said, and I think I don't know if I've said it. I'm very protective of my pens. I baby them and I don't want them scratched. So this is a no-go for me. And I didn't know, or maybe I just didn't pay attention when I bought it, or the reviews, I don't know. I just don't want them to get scratched, so I don't really use it anymore. But if you don't care about that or whatever, then it's a good pen case. So the fabric here is very, very stiff. I had to really press down on them to get them to be a little more not stiff. They were really hard. I was honestly worried about them scratching my pens because they were so stiff when I got this. But if you kind of press them down some, it'll not loosen them up, but just make them not as hard. But anyways, let's put some pens in here. Show you what that looks like. So I'll grab 6 pens I have. And lots of people. 3. Okay. So I've got a Lamy Luxe, and you can, I don't know, probably wouldn't want to do that because then it won't close. Well, no, it does. It closes. I was gonna say you probably don't want to put the clips on the outside, but it does close still. But I only have 1 pen in there, so I don't know. But with a pen like this, I'd probably just turn it on its side and put the clip there, because the Lamy clip kind of bows out some right here. So I would just turn it on its side so it doesn't push this out. My Delta Unica, my Franklin-Christoph Pocket 66, and this pen will go all the way to the bottom. You can see, maybe, yeah, it goes all the way to the bottom, and I can't I have to reach in there to get it. So that's another reason too, because it's just hard to get the pen out if it doesn't have a clip, which, that being said, that's kind of dumb because this is the only pen I have that doesn't have a clip, so that's really not a problem. This is a Pilot Decimo, which I did not include this in my last video in my collection because I had planned on selling this. I wanted to give it another chance just to see if I did want to sell it. So I inked it up this morning actually, so I'm trying to see if I want to keep this, but it's not officially in my collection because I haven't decided yet, so that's why it wasn't included in my 2020 fountain pen collection video. My Pelikan M605, which I have that linked up with Lamy Crystal Agate right now, and I'm loving it. Okay, so this is a variety of different sizes and clip types, so you can really see the difference here. So the Decimo, and this would be the same for the Pilot Vanishing Point, of course, really sticks up. But that's not a problem. This flap is very tall, so they're not even near the top of this. And you can't really pull it down any because the magnet will just snap back up. And then here's what they look like inside and the different heights. So this is a Platinum 3776 Shein, Pelican, like I said, Decimo, my Franklin-Christoph Pocket 66 in here, Delta Unica, and the Lamy Lux. So, I mean, everything fits really nicely except the, except my Franklin-Christoph. I'm going to take that one out. Let's put a Lamy 2000 in here. And that's what the Lamy 2000 looks like. And let's see, we'll put a Sailor in here, Sailor Pro Gear. And pins where the clips are really close to the top of the cap are gonna go really nicely in here because they're down in there nice and secure, but you can still easily pull them out. Clips like with the Pilot Decimo or the Vanishing Point, it stops like right here, and then you still have all of this here. So that one kind of sticks out way more than the other ones. But again, it doesn't touch the top of the flap, so not a big deal. And there's what it looks like again. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say about this pen case. It is a nice pen case. It looks very professional. I did intend or plan on buying it. I bought it, excuse me, to just sit on my desk. But when I got it, I was just kind of worried about how stiff the fabric was. And then I was like, oh, well, if I wanted to carry around these pens, you know, what if I could do that? And then I was like, oh, well, let's open here so my pens might get scratched. And I just really never ended up using it a lot. And I've been using, I bought this like wooden, like glass display case, glass and wood display case for my pens. And I just keep that off to the side. And I can just lift up the lid and grab them. So I haven't really been using this. But it is a nice case. Like I said, looks very professional. It does protect your pens fairly well. I mean, there's not a lot of that pen exposed to get scratched. So I guess it depends on what type of pen you put in the sides here. But it's just not for me. But it's a really nicely made case. Franklin-Christoph makes really nice pens, accessories, leather accessories, fabric accessories. I'm gonna buy their single zipper pen case in the fabric when it comes back in stock. I have the leather version that came with my Pocket 66 and I really like it. I use it quite a bit actually. So I want the fabric version because I like the fabric better than the leather. So yeah, it's a good case. Definitely check Franklin-Christoph out if you haven't already. They, like I said, make really good products. I would definitely recommend them. They have beyond amazing customer service. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was useful to you. If you have any questions, let me know. And thank you so much for watching. See you next time.